This podcast is rated R for restricted. Under 17 requires accompanying parent or adult guardian.
Mission 250.
Welcome to the Mission 250 Filmcast, the 101st episode. You'd think I would have changed it up by now, but I haven't thought of anything better.
Meow.
Meow. I'm in a room full of cats, and my other hosts are...
John. And we lost TC.
Sorry.
Oh, there he is.
He's back.
I had something. I had people fucking. Yeah,
That's
this
right.
is gonna be rocky.
I like your introduction. My co-star John and sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if you can hear those little bangs on the ground, these soft, fluffy little thumps.
I thought that might be the kitties.
Those are the kitties.
Yeah.
They're jumping around. They're flopping on the ground. Yep.
Oh my God.
They're fine.
God damn kitties.
It's cute.
Is it?
It is.
Is it?
So, John, what do we do on this podcast?
Well, every week we watch a movie. Why do we do that? Because
No idea.
Yeah. It's lost to time. It's like a tradition now.
Yeah,
it's like
as
when you
is
say
tradition.
bless you when someone sneezes. No one knows why you do that anymore. And when you think about it, it starts to sound really silly. But we do it.
Yes. And
Very
we've been
good.
doing it for 100 episodes, and this is
Yes.
101st. So we're in the middle section here. This is kind of like the middle child of the 50, you know?
It's
Yeah.
like an
Nice amount of attention.
intermission.
Yeah.
If you will. Yeah.
Not special, not treated well, sort
No.
of angry on
Barely
both sides.
recognized, has to take care of the
Yeah.
younger ones, has to get bullied by the older ones.
Yeah, no good.
No.
So
Yep.
anyway, we are watching the top 250 movies as rated by IMDb users in reverse order. We froze the list in time every week. We watch one and then we talk about it.
Holy shit, John, you're going really fast.
That was
That's a
going
lot of
fast.
Diet
That was
Coke
going
in
fast.
your
I
system,
couldn't
I
read it. Oh my
guess.
God, that was only
And this week we are watching number 150, Incendies, 2010, which is a Canadian movie. TC, it's your turn to go first. What do you think?
Incendies.
It's not called Incendies, by the way. It's pronounced...
What is it?
It's called
Incendies?
Really?
Insonzi.
Incendies.
Insonzi.
So Incendies.
Okay, burning,
Incendies.
on fire.
We're just
as
gonna go
far
with
as I'm
Incendies,
concerned,
'cause that's
this
how
is called Incendies.
It looks, yeah.
Hey, because I'm, just American.
But
Yes.
wait, I should say for this is one of those movies. If you're thinking about watching it, knowing what happens in the movie takes a lot away from it. So if you'd like to watch it, if you like Villeneuve and you think you haven't seen this one before and you're thinking, oh, I should go watch this one, then go watch it before
Then
you
do it.
listen to
and
us
don't
talk.
listen.
Dude, John's on
Yes.
speed this episode. It's funny.
Yeah.
I also agree with John though on that one.
I've had a busy week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to drink some beer here to sort of like settle down, but
Nice.
it's not kicking in yet.
No.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Will, don't
yeah.
worry. He'll be asleep in 10
Get
minutes.
nice and slow talking, like normal.
That's right. Yeah. You'll know as I start getting cranky, and then I'll just go to sleep.
I will say, though, like, only watch this movie if you're okay. Watch it if you're, like, in the mood for something that'll bring you down, kind of.
Yep. This is why I love this movie.
Oh,
It's-
go.
Oh,
Yeah.
go there.
This is right up my alley. You guys know this. It's a reality-based movie that brings you down. I love those.
Nice.
Give
me more.
I love being down, if you will. So, yeah, I mean, hell of a story. Radiohead opener, big fan.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, I cannot go wrong.
I mean,
Yes,
you just
I agree.
can't go wrong. I mean, for an
Yes.
opening montage with the Radiohead, come on.
Best opening montage ever. Not that there's a lot that I can think of off the top of my head, but still.
Big Lebowski,
Yep.
what about that one, huh?
Well, that's a good one, too.
That wasn't a
but-
montage, though. That wasn't the same kind of thing. Like this, I don't know. That was more like this is bowling, so it was like a linear kind of
This
thing.
one's like, this is barbershop
This-
scary time.
This is like, this kid looks evil and he might kill me. I mean,
Yeah.
geez.
Look at this
Um,
eye light shot we got going on here. Isn't that nice looking? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I did like this one. I have to say that it was an interesting story. I didn't see the twist coming at the end at all. Wasn't ready for that one.
Mm.
I did like they had some cool, just sort of like how they shot the main characters where they wouldn't cut to the ancillary characters while they were speaking. So like you would hear someone talking about something and they would just hang on the main characters.
Mhm.
And I kind of liked that. It was like you didn't need that like, oh, someone's speaking, cut. Oh, someone else is speaking, cut. Oh, but they're speaking again, cut. You know?
What does their mouth look like when they say this word? I need to know.
Right. Yes, exactly.
It's more like,
So-
hey, we're following these lead characters. We're gonna watch how they react, basically.
Right. And just hold on them and
Yeah.
see their face. So, which, I mean, it also requires the actors to do a pretty good job of
Mhm.
getting into the zone. So,
Right.
yeah, I mean,
Which they
it
do
was
consistently, right?
Which they do consistently.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. It's a heavy story, right? I mean, the three of us haven't had anything like that in our families. right? No.
Not
So-
that I would admit to.
Seriously.
Well, no, but just even like the sense of like your mother going through some crazy shit, and then you're like, like
Not to
just
this
really-
level. I mean, this is the craziest shit you could possibly go through in one lifetime, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty badass when she shot the guy in the face
Yeah.
directly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that woman's got some fucking cojones.
She's a little bit crazy, I think.
She might
Yeah,
be a
too.
bit on the
But she's been through a lot. You
but
know?
she's-
You
yeah, I
sort
mean,
of-
she's
you lead
spiteful.
up to it, kind of. I think that's one of the things the movie was trying to show, the paths. Even though you didn't get a lot of it, whether it was her or her first son, like trying to show the path that got them where they were,
right.
but not dwelling on it too much.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I would have
Good,
opened
TC. Keep
I would have
going.
opened the envelopes. Just gonna throw that out there. That would have been open. Envelopes would have been open
Move me
immediately.
over.
Yeah, I'm like, I can get another envelope and seal it. I will open this envelope and I'm going to find out what the fuck she wrote these people, and then I would have been
Yep.
probably more confused in this instance. But what are you
Yeah,
gonna do?
yes, possibly.
Yeah, well, what would have happened if you read those two letters out of context? You'd been like, wait a minute, what is she
Wait a minute.
What is she doing?
So
It's like, of
who
course
is
you're
this
writing
person?
it to him as the father. Why would you
Right.
not be writing it to them as the father or the son or
Yeah.
whatever?
I mean, it's just so fucked up. So are we gonna let the audience know what the hell the plot is? Or, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, well, you can just describe like mother dies. They get
Last chance to
they're-
shut it off if you want to
yeah,
watch it.
last chance, because this is
Yeah.
gonna get heavy and you might get sad.
You're
just
gonna
by
listen
us
to it and you're gonna be
talking
like,
about it.
oh damn, I should have just watched it instead of listening
yeah,
to the spoilers.
right. Like we
Because they're gonna be
couldn't-
like, holy shit, it's fucked up.
that is
Yep.
fucked up. It's a mind fuck.
Warning. Okay, continue.
But
Go,
just so
John.
the mother dies, they're at this notary who's served as the mother's boss too.
I had no idea notaries were so binding. Like, holy shit.
They're more respected than I know of
Are they?
in this country. This country is just something you do, like you're a realtor or something. You're just a notary. So they get letters that are given to their mother on the desk and say, look, there are promises that must be kept, and you can't put a gravestone on my site. In other words, she's just not going to be at peace until these things are fulfilled. And there is a letter given to this. They're twins. Her
They're
kids
each
are
given a
twins.
letter, right?
They're each given a letter. The boy is given a letter to give to the father,
The brother.
or the brother. Yes.
Yeah.
And
So they have a
the-
brother they didn't know about.
right? And the sister is given a letter to give to the father, who they thought was dead.
Yeah. Right.
And they're basically told to go find these people, saying that neither of them are dead, and that once you find them, you give them this letter, and in this process, these promises will be kept. That kicks off the whole movie, and they go on this journey. The sister first goes on this journey basically to figure out, and in the process, she
And they try to
learns
base it in
slowly-
reality, right? Because the brother's like, no way I'm doing this.
Yeah.
No
Right,
freaking
right.
way. For
Right.
like the first
The
half
brother
of the
doesn't
movie.
enter the picture like 2/3, I think, right?
Yeah, it's pretty later. It's
3/4,
much later
really.
on, yeah.
He doesn't come in until much later, but
Because I related to him. I was like, there's no way I'm doing this. This is
Yeah, I know, right?
ridiculous.
I know.
yeah,
Daddy,
I'm
me
sure
too.
it's like,
me too.
given what his mom had been through, she was probably really weird to them, and he's like, screw this. This is another one of mom's crazy things.
Yeah,
I'm not
she's
into
insane.
this.
I'm not doing
Yeah,
this
she's
shit.
over there hoarding fucking boxes and T-shirts and shit. I'm not going over to fucking Iraq or wherever the fuck it was. I'm not going there.
Yeah.
Fuck you. You
But,
know?
but then the daughter goes, and you basically then learn all about the mother's history. You learn that she had this boy that was taken away from her, but
Out of wedlock.
yeah, her grandmother tattooed like on his heel. They were Christians. It's possible that the person that she slept with was Muslim, I guess.
He was a
Yeah.
refugee, right? He was,
Or he was
outcast.
some kind
yeah.
of some kind
Just
of total
some kind
disgrace.
of lower, yeah, right, lower class.
So
than-
her
yeah.
family, maybe her brother or somebody shoots her lover in front of her, and then the baby, once he's born, has to be given up for adoption.
And then
But
she
he
has
gets
to run away too because she's
Right.
like
because they're
disgraced or whatever.
disgraced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
Oh
but he
man,
gets
heavy.
that baby's tattooed with 3 dots on his heel, presumably so that the mother, will someday be able to identify him.
Right.
Yeah, I had a
This-
question about
yeah.
that. Why, if she's disgraced and they're separated, we'll talk about that later.
Well, that grandma is still
I
sympathetic.
had maybe thought that they did that to every baby.
Right. Well, then if they did it to every baby, then you could always hope that what happened didn't really happen.
Yeah.
Well, right.
I had the sense that this
Yeah.
was unique. You know,
I thought that too because, I mean, she saw it at the pool later on in the movie and she's like, that's definitely my son.
right.
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 Or my
And then
rape.
she saw
what?
his face
Right.
and then she's like, that's
my.
Anyway, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the film
But we'll,
yeah.
we'll
That's
spoil that in
my-
2 minutes when John keeps going through the story.
Yeah, because
I
like
can
literally,
if you want. Do you want
no,
me to
but
keep
literally,
going? Just
literally, the first part of this is so like what you just said I'm already stressed.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna say that now. Now finish.
So the orphanage that this son, so she becomes kind of a crusader against this war that's going on between these Christian militants. I think they're rebels possibly, and Muslims. And she's more of a human rights activist of sorts, trying to stop the war. The orphanage that her son
through a
is
newspaper,
at,
right?
right?
That's
yeah.
it. She's not like doing anything active besides writing it on newspaper.
Right. And the orphanage that her son is at gets destroyed by Christian militants, by the rebels. I think that's kind of what turns her, and she has this horrifying experience in this bus where she sees, she's with some Muslims. She's like traveling to go see her son in this orphanage. This bus gets like stopped by the Christian militants, and they're going to just kill everybody. And she tries to say, "Hey, this is my daughter," even though it's not. But she's trying to save this little girl who's Muslim, and the little girl like pulls away from her. And then the little girl gets shot, which is one of the most horrifying scenes in the movie, I thought.
Dude, that's one of the most horrifying scenes I've ever seen in my life.
It was so realistic.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I don't know how they got that little girl to do that, but she ran perfectly and
She
then dropped dead.
I know. Jesus Christ. I know.
I almost started crying when that happened. No
I
joke.
I wasn't thinking that was going to happen. I thought that she was just going to go back. I don't know what I was thinking, but that looked so fucking real.
Yeah, it was. Insane.
It was
and also
terrifying.
the first shot when they shot the bus driver in the head and they started firing into the bus. Fucking terrifying. Like the whole thing was so realistic. There's very few movies I can think where the gun violence is as scary as this. Like anytime they pointed a gun at somebody in this movie, I thought someone was going to die.
Oh yeah, because you saw it happen and nobody was spared. And there's also like sniper scenes later where you see children get shot in the head. And Jesus Christ,
they show the dead bodies of the kids, like totally fucked. The violence is like super realistic.
Yep,
scary. Like people, like there's not a lot of blood when people get shot in the head. They just drop to the ground.
No, it's not gratuitous. It's not gratuitous at all. It just feels so sudden and violent that it's terrifying.
Dude, this movie gave me nightmares.
Oh, wow.
I'm not going to lie. Like I had nightmares the night after I watched this movie, and that does not happen very frequently.
I think I just felt like kind of gross after. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
Jeez. So did we get to the end of this or what?
No, sorry.
So,
no.
Should I keep going?
Yeah, we gotta have the whole thing, because I don't think anyone at home listening to this will have any understanding until you really get. It's a linear story that you need to get through, and it's hard, you know.
Okay, so she's on the bus. She at some point, once she realizes that the orphanage has been taken, she is captured by the Muslim side of the war. But she says, "Look, I'll do anything you want me to do. I want revenge." And so then she becomes a French tutor to one of the Christians who's either like the leader or very high up in the on the Christian side of things. And she ends up then basically she's a plant, she's a mole, she's there. The idea is she's going to get a call, and that's when she's going to assassinate that guy. And she does it. Like she gets the call, she takes a gun, she just goes right up to him, bang, and then she just stands there and waits to whatever is going to happen next. And I'm surprised. I was very surprised they didn't
kill her.
It almost seemed unrealistic that they didn't just kill her. Right,
they probably
there, right?
want to they want someone to answer for it, like to torture her, to be like who. Get answers, maybe like who did you work for or whatever.
Right.
I don't know. I was surprised. I was like, "There's no way."
That almost felt a little unrealistic in the sense of like, well, given that somebody just assassinated your leader,
the biggest leader, exactly. Like,
and I also thought like when they threw in the trunk and pointed at the gun, I was like, "Oh, they're gonna shoot her!" And then afterwards, I was like, "Oh, but why would they put her in the trunk? They'd ruin the car. Like, put her on the ground, shoot her in the head."
I wasn't really thinking that way. I wasn't thinking about the upholstery. I was thinking, well, we know she lives through this. So they take her to a prison.
But do we? Because the movie was edited so like back and forth with the time. I thought, which was good because I thought she could die at any point, kind of.
No, because she didn't die until she has the twins and she gives the kids the letters.
But I didn't know when she had the twins.
Oh, I see.
And I knew. I guess I
knew
the
she
mom
died at the. Yeah. You knew the mom died at the pool. Like you knew the mom was older and died.
This movie was confusing. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. I got some criticisms
weren't there times
there.
where you thought the daughter was the same person as the mother when they jumped scenes?
There was a little bit of that. Yeah, because they do look similar and it's not. Yeah, this is all just sort of pieced together. I totally agree. Like so she's there. Then she gets taken to this prison, this terrible prison. She shows the spirit. She's known as the woman who sings because she just keeps singing, even though she's tortured and raped by this guy, this like torturer that they bring in.
And they only bring him in is because she doesn't break with all other forms of torture.
Right. And then he rapes her repeatedly. She ends up having twins in that hospital. They're taken away from her. And then somehow she's released, which also seems unrealistic.
She had a 15-year sentence.
Yes, that also seems
very short for murdering the top guy.
For murdering your leader, 15 years. And then see you later. Hopefully time off for good behavior. That also seems a little strange.
You took that plug-in real good. You can go now.
Yeah. So, but then there were people that then they're like, all right, the Muslim side of things were like, you helped us, we're going to help you. We know where your kids are. She sort of gained in reputation and had some admirers because she was the one who sings. They got her kids back to her. They took her back to America. Then we see some along the way.
No, that's not why. That the admirers. She was taken to America because that's what the guy she made the deal with for the assassination when they drove her off. He's like, I need you to move to America. He forced her to. She didn't want to.
Oh, I thought that they were like, look, this is what we're going to do to take care of you. We're paying you. We're going to ship you over there, and you're going to have a much better life.
She didn't seem like she wanted to do it.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
In the car when you couldn't see the guy. And she was when she was fresh out of prison. It looked like she was. I thought she said something like, "I don't want to do this" or something.
Oh, I don't know. I just sort of assumed that was like her way out. They're like you'll be safe there.
Yeah, I think it was probably the only real way out. But
I think what she didn't really want, she didn't want her kids because they were the rapist kids, and the guy was like, "Look, trust us. This is your way."
Oh, do we just give that away without getting to it?
Oh, not yet. No, we didn't give away the final twist. But she had twins, and so that.
Say it quickly. If you think about what you just said, you can figure it out, John.
Yeah, you could, but
that's true.
The final piece.
So there was a rapist,
right. But we learned. So then we see a little bit more about what happened to that first son, and that he was radicalized by, I think maybe by the Muslims first, and then he turned to be on the Christian side. But I don't remember. I didn't quite understand that. But he ends up being like this really like crazy sniper. And possibly because he's got this idea of all these horrible things that happened to his mom and what was done with his life. And so he becomes very radical. And there's horrifying scenes where he's the sniper shooting children in the street. Just
for
this
fun?
glimpse.
Yeah, that was weird.
Glimpse of his life.
That poor kid, too, got really hit.
Yeah, that was horrifying. And so we learned that this is a really bad dude. And there's a little misdirection.
Who would live in a town where you go get groceries, but to get to the grocery
store,
you got to run by a sniper?
Well, when you're 8 years old, you don't get to choose your town. I don't know.
No, the older guy though, they're like, all right, dude, we need milk, we need friggin' Oreos. All right, let's go to the store. You got to watch out for this one house though. There's an asshole who shoots kids in it.
And we know he's there, but we can't do anything about it.
Right. Those kids knew that they were in danger. Right. It was very clear.
Well, they knew that house was the house because he looked specifically at it. So he's like, that's the sniper house. Watch out now.
Anyways, let's wrap this up.
So wrapping up, what we end up learning is, even though there's one like weird bit of misdirection where one character in the movie says, oh no, that your son's name went to that prison, but he didn't have the name of the torturer, whatever that name was. But it turns out that
he changed his name.
Actually was the torturer. So the brother and the father are the same person that the twins are looking for.
The first son became a torture rapist and raped his mother in prison, and they had twins.
Oh my God!
When the mother was at the pool.
So bad.
That's what happened, and she had a stroke or something.
I think she just went into like shock or something. Right?
Yeah, that was the beginning of the end for her, because she saw his tattoo on his ankle and looked up and recognized him as the rapist.
As a rapist,
yes.
And then she knew that her kids are now incest kids.
And then in the movie, the kids deliver the letter to the father and brother, and then they put the headstone on, and that's...
This movie should be called Incendies.
Well done, sir. Good night, everybody.
First question.
That's it. I'm out.
What kind of fucked up mother makes their kids learn this shit? Wouldn't you rather have them live their lives without knowing all this horrible stuff?
Well, yeah. And why not tell them before she's dead? Be like, hey, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, she just learned, right?
Denny.
She had to narrate a letter to the notary guy, right?
Right. But think about it. That's a really good point, Denny. Like, why they would never know. Yeah. Just say your dad's dead. You don't have a brother. Fuck all that. Let's just you guys
that never
just live
happens.
your lives.
It's because she's selfish. She's like, I need you to know who I am, so I feel at peace. But rather than like, I'd rather have you know why I was a bitch than just think I was a bitch for no good reason.
Well, that's actually that's not necessarily a bad thing, even for your kids to understand why your parents were.
Unless that's
but
your
imagine
history.
The next future years of their, like, the way they think, it's just going to be miserable.
Yeah.
You're gonna need to go to therapy for that.
Oh, I know. I thought the dad/brother was going to kill himself right there, because I thought in terms of her words, she was like, even in letters, she said something to the fact that this would be the end of you. But he's there still at the end. So yeah, that's there's the synopsis.
What is the point of the letters too? Did you guys get that part? She's like, as long as we're together, and I was like, what do you mean we're? You're dead.
So the content of the letters was odd. That seemed to happen so fast to be read quickly in comparison with the rest of the movie that I missed it, kind of.
Yeah.
I feel like that was really important stuff, but I sort of, at that point, I was still like reeling from the revelation of everything too. And so if there was any kind of profound meaning or like some kind of like deep message about love conquers all or whatever in these letters, it just bounced right off of me. Because I know she said stuff that may have been profound in those letters, but I was just still like, what the really?
Also, I think it was also a little too poetic. You know, it was
Maybe.
the way it wasn't a very linear message that it was giving. It was like kind of like interpretive and like, I don't know.
Yeah,
It was hard to understand.
The rest, it was strange, and it was really in contrast to the rest of the movie, I think, which was much more. The rest of the movie was very slow, and not in a bad way. It just. It
in the
took
best
its
way.
time.
It was dread
Yeah.
the entire movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really took its time.
It did. And
Yeah.
there wasn't much score, so it was just kind of like, it was quiet, just kind of let you take it all in.
Yeah.
And then cue Radiohead. And then it's like, damn, this movie's good. And then
That opening montage, that UN Whose Army song is so beautiful.
Love that
it.
song. I
Yeah.
mean, I was listening to it after the movie was over just to listen to it.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to bring back the feelings that were not tied to this movie. You know how like when a song gets tied to a scene, you kind of like remember that all the time. Like I wanted
so
to
now you're just seeing the radicalized kid.
yeah.
getting his
Every time I
haircut,
hear that now, I just see those
looking
eyes
right at you.
Yeah, exactly.
Holy cow!
Like
that was.
So you guys like that first scene mostly because of the song?
I loved it.
well,
no.
yeah. I mean,
I loved it because of the song and just I didn't know what was going to happen in the movie, and in fact.
I was confused by it, right? Like the song is so epic, and it's kind of like a movie ender song.
They put it in
like,
again in the.
They put it in
later
two
on.
more times.
They put it in two more times. So they have like there's. The
Hey, dude, when you
weird-
pay for the license, let's
They
use
didn't.
it.
They did not.
What?
They got it for free.
No.
Radiohead agreed to
Oh.
give it to them if they liked the cut of the movie.
So they
Oh.
watched the movie and they were like, "This is great. Put
Yep.
it in. Fuck
Yep.
it.
Nice.
That's
Well, there's
awesome."
the weird
Yeah.
like version of it that's like in reverse or something.
Yeah, what was that?
That's on Amnesiac too.
Weird.
It's a different song, I think, and it's just a reversed version. I don't know if it's a reverse version of UN Whose Army, but it's just there's a song I think on Amnesiac that it's like just the vocals are done in reverse.
And the song plays forward though.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So it's a very weird thing. I didn't like that part as much. I thought like the setup. I was almost disappointed in some ways just because.
I laughed at the end. The last reveal, it was too much. I thought,
It was,
I thought
too
this
much,
movie was really good, but I thought
Right.
that when he's like, even the way they did it was a little silly, and it was confusing too. He was like, the sister comes in after he learns it, he just looks like catatonic almost, and he turns
Right.
to her and he's like, "Is 1 + 1 also 1?" And then she starts
I know.
crying. I'm like, "Wait, what the fuck? Are you what?" And then I
Yeah.
rewound it to that part, and I was like, "How could she have picked it up?" When you finally because there's another good 3 minutes after that scene where you're still like, I don't understand what that was.
Yeah.
And then they kind of explain it to you because it's impossible to understand. That
Right.
scene is stupid. Like there's no way she could have picked up on it. You know what I mean? If
I
someone
agree.
went to you and
I-
said 1 + 1, can it equal 1? Are you going to assume that your mother was raped by her son?
No,
Right.
I didn't understand that at all. I had to rewind it and watch it again and still didn't get it.
I don't think it makes any sense, but
That's a good point.
and it kind of threw me out. And like the whole idea of that is like this movie is misery porn, really.
My favorite.
It's a legit genre, and I like them too for the most part. And this one was really good, but that was too much. You know, it's like you've already done so much shit to this poor woman,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and now she's gonna get raped by her own son.
Yeah.
Like that's just too
I
much.
don't
I don't know. It was that one line. I was like, I no longer believe the realism of this movie, which I was totally in for before that.
Yeah. I think that's a good point. It starts to feel contrived at that point, right? It goes, it's almost like over the top and then it sort of loses its realism because of that, because it just starts to feel very contrived.
Yeah. It's also weird how they keep the honor of the letters. Like you really have to believe that the letter thing is just going to happen. Like there's no question from the kids, especially like when they have to give the letters to the person that their brother / father. They're just going to stand there and not say anything. They're going to let letters do the talking. I don't think so.
And how about how the guy's just doing he's just cleaning buses now? That's what he's doing.
He's going to the pool with his buds.
Yeah. Yeah, no big deal. I raped a bunch of people once, tortured them, took their nails off. Who cares?
Wasn't a sniper.
No big deal. No big deal, dude. I Windex now, okay?
Yeah.
I'm paying for my
Good at it, dude. He was doing a good job.
He was. Yeah. I was like, okay, so that's how they do it. I'm glad somebody does that.
Yeah.
That's what I kept thinking. I was like, damn, they clean it down? I didn't even know that.
They're like, well, that makes sense because those things get pretty gross towards the end of the day.
He's not really given much time to show that he might be tortured or not. There's really little time devoted to him after, as an adult. And you can understand somebody being radicalized. You can understand somebody being born to kill, raised to kill, trained to kill from like when you're 7 or something, and how that just probably makes you that can make you a killer. And that happens all the time. But he wasn't given. He was just like, I don't know. The end of the movie seemed to go so fast. And it just felt like tying up all these sort of loose ends the way the movie wanted to. And it just felt, it just lost its realism there to me. I agree too. I mean, in comparison with the way it sort of slowly unfolded and how realistic everything seemed with the way the violence was portrayed and all of that. So I totally agree with that too. It just felt like, there, this, haha, we're done. Yeah, shocked.
Just like that, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. Yeah.
And did you guys get the last shot of the movie? I didn't get it until I read the Wikipedia.
I don't really remember
that it was him at her grave.
It was the rapist's son.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I didn't notice. I agree. I didn't notice until I read the Wikipedia. I was like, and I don't know. Maybe at that point I was just done. I was just like, all right, it's over. Good.
He's too far away to be able to tell who it was.
Yeah, so you don't even know.
I did not recognize that. So
yeah. I didn't even understand that it was supposed to be her gravestone. Like, finally she gets her gravestone. Fuck her children's lives. They're totally fucked at this point. But she gets her gravestone.
Hey, and then the truth comes out. Ma. Hey, Ma. No big deal. We're just miserable now.
Hey, thanks, Ma. Thanks.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Ma. And they talk like they're in Boston, like, yeah, okay, Ma, that was nice. Yeah, real good of you there, Ma. Appreciate it. Fuck.
Nice.
Oh, man. Yeah, this movie is, right, I like this kind of shit, but
it's fun. It's not fun. God damn it.
Not fun. No. It's not fun, but it's just
it's well orchestrated.
Reality.
It messes with your emotions. I did so there were like two things. Like I did really love the opening scene. I thought, oh my God, this is. But I also don't. I feel like the opening scene with the Radiohead song was a little incongruent from the rest of the film. It just felt like a different part of the film. So I was a little sad at first because I thought somehow everything was so stylized, and partially just the Radiohead songs does that.
Right.
But then we just moved into a very slow, more careful movie for a while. And then you have the end, which is all like wrapping it all up. So I was a little, at first I was like watching it going, oh, this is going to be awesome. This is going to be like something really stylized and cool. We've got Radiohead here. We've got kids getting their hair cut. It's going to be awesome. And it just seemed like that was a different setup than what the movie did for the rest of the 2/3.
I would say the same thing with any of the three scenes of the Radiohead song. The Radiohead song where,
it's awesome, but it doesn't. So
you're saying the song is too good for the movie?
Yes,
possibly.
It's a different tone. Like the song is like. It should be used in other movies. Like, I can't believe I haven't heard that in other movies because it's fucking beautiful. Epic as shit.
I know. That song, man, these guys just are literally here to make music.
I know,
I mean, that's what they're here for. Because
And luckily they found it because that's what they do.
And each other. Yeah. I mean, geez, how's that all line up?
Luck, I guess.
I guess.
I think.
Because I think, as a whole, the movie is pretty damn cohesive in terms of how it feels. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of. Even though it's mostly filmed in Canada and some of it was filmed in Jordan, it feels like you're in the desert all of the time.
Oh, I totally agree. It's just that intro sequence feels out of place.
Yeah. And how good are those wide shots? I mean, the landscape just
amazing.
It bodes well for wide shots.
Yeah.
It really
makes
does.
you think. Whenever I see stuff like that, and Denis Villeneuve does it in his movies, like his wide shots are amazing.
He's
they don't
fantastic.
do it.
I mean, his ability to show like a sense of atmosphere and place and environment is fantastic. Arrival was beautiful in doing this.
And we saw Prisoners. That was on the list.
Yeah, Prisoners was great, and Blade Runner.
Amazing.
I want to see some of his other stuff, but his sense of like giving you a sense of place and like just atmosphere, I guess, in terms of like where you're at is just really amazing.
Yeah.
And yeah, you see a lot of that in this film too. But yeah,
Sicario, a lot of really nice desert wide shots.
Yeah.
I mean, the landscape really does it, you know?
Oh, yeah. The other thing that upset me that sort of at least like threw me a while for this film during the first part of it, and I ended up just looking it up while the film was going because it was annoying me, is I didn't know it was set in a fictional setting. Everything seemed almost real enough and the names sounded almost real that I was like, what was this based on true events or what? Or where are they going? Because it sounds like I should know what's happened here. And it all was just made up. Like it wasn't really about a real war or a real
I mean, it kind of was.
It kind of, but it's generally referencing maybe the Lebanese conflict or something like that. But
and then there was a person called like Suha Bichara who was in prison kind of in the same way for trying to assassinate the guy. And then there was also an incident with the bus. The same kind of thing happened to a bus.
But they didn't. The actual places and names were wrong. Were just
made up. Yeah, they're made up.
And that's what totally threw me at first because then I was trying to like look it up, going like, well, where is this happening? Because I don't know these names. And that sort of just threw me. It's like it's not necessarily like it's anything wrong with the film. It just led to a lot of confusion for a while. I was like, I don't know where they're at. I'm confused. I didn't know it was made up. Like, better if you just go straight science fiction, because then you're like, I'm not supposed to know these things.
Yeah, like, you don't have to know these things, because they're definitely not real.
Yeah. But that just sort of, it just took me out of the movie for a while, because I was just sitting there trying to figure out, like, where are they? And I didn't quite understand it. It's like, if I'm just a stupid American that doesn't know my geography.
I
that works for me.
I didn't even look. Yeah, I didn't even search. I was just like, so I don't know where this is. That's good.
Yeah. Right? So, John, you can't get mad because you didn't know. If you knew and you're like, this is made up, this is bullshit, but you're like, where is this? This place looks pretty nice.
No, I don't mind that. No, it's not that I don't care either way. It's just sort of, it's so realistically done. You feel like it really
should
happened.
Be related to something, yeah.
It's like in a real place. And so it feels like, everything's done so authentically. It feels like you're in a real place and you're not. And you just don't know. You don't know that that's what's going on, I guess. Or at least so I was just confused. I was like trying to look up the historical events or the historical places where they actually were. It's like, where are they? Wait, are they Christian? Did she sleep with a Muslim? Is that why what was so wrong? I don't, I just wanted to figure out the facts behind it. But that wasn't the point of the story. It was more to be like to create a universal sort of like tell a more universal story about these kinds of wars. So that's why they maybe, I don't know exactly why they decided to do it this way, but one would guess is they just wanted to sort of show like more universally how this stuff happens. But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I don't even know if you got to really talk. Well, we've all like sort of given our opinions at this point, I guess.
Yeah. But, I mean, I thought it was really freaking intense. Like it gave me nightmares. It fucking scared the shit out of me.
You said last week, like he can do no wrong. I don't know if he does all right or whatever, but man, whatever he does, I want to watch it.
Yeah, he has a bunch of movies before this.
Yeah, I know. I started to look at some of this other stuff and think, man, I should watch some of this stuff.
Yeah, this is the one that put him on the map, though. Got nominated for an Oscar for Best Foreign Movie, and then the one he did after this was Prisoners, which is a hugely successful movie. Mm-hmm. And he's been doing like pretty much weird, original. I wouldn't say artsy, but like quality blockbuster movies. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, Arrival, Blade Runner. He's doing Dune.
Yes.
He's doing Dune.
Oh, no.
Yes, Dune. Yes. And he's going to make it into more than one movie, and he's going to take his time with it. He said it's going to take at least 4 years before he's ready to do it.
Oh, man, I'm excited.
So he's dedicating himself to it.
It's killed other directors, so
Dude,
who knows?
He's going to do it.
Yeah.
If he makes Dune look as good as he made the new Blade Runner, I'm going to shit in the theater.
In the theater.
In the theater.
You're just going to pop a squat.
Dude, I'm not even going to wear pants. I'm going to be like, don't worry, guys. I'm shitting.
Don't worry, I got this. I'm going to take a... Oh, there it is.
Don't worry, man. This is why I got the plastic. I'm just laying it down here. I don't want to make a mess.
Hey, I'm being polite. I know it might stink, but just bear with me. This is the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
Reserve left and right seats. I got it.
Yeah.
All right. Tarps down. We're good to go.
I'm just going to shit.
Anybody around me want free popcorn? It's on me. It's all right. The butter kind of helps detract. Don't worry.
Oh, anyway. The butter
and shit smell. Nothing like it, folks. Nothing like it.
No.
The guy can just give you a sense of place so well. And Dune is another example of a film that's just gorgeous in terms of having a sense of setting and place and history. That's one of the really cool things about the book. So I think that it will just be fantastic, whatever he can pull off. I think hopefully he can. So that's very, very exciting. But Blade Runner was also the same thing. I mean, he really pulled it off in terms of atmosphere and making it his own, even though, it was really Scott's kind of thing initially. But yeah, I am out of beer, and I'm still like tense.
Oh,
so
go. Go,
Wow,
buddy.
this
right back.
movie will do that. I mean, damn, so Villeneuve, he's been doing this for a long time, huh?
Yeah. And also, his name isn't pronounced Denis Villeneuve.
What is it?
Denis
Villeneuve?
Villa. Denis Villa.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so all those extra letters at the end there, you apparently don't
Nothing.
pronounce them.
Don't say those.
And I know this because that's what he called himself on the commentary track of this movie. And that's how I also know it was Incendies.
Interesting.
Because he's French Canadian, so
yeah, right.
I believe
Quebec.
he knows how to pronounce those words and his own last name. I would imagine.
Probably does. I would think so. I mean, just throwing that out there.
But how? All right, so let's look at his last name here because it as an idiot, Villeneuve. So Eneuve is just
Villeneuve. Nope. All right, I just can't do it. That's just it. That's
weird,
it.
but-
I'm done.
All right, back.
Nothing I can do.
So John, just to let you know, also you feel free to mispronounce it for the rest of your life, but it's Denis Villeneuve.
Villeneuve?
Nope. See, you don't
Nope.
pronounce anything.
Nope. It's just
Villeneuve. It's just Villa.
Yeah, he goes,
Yeah.
hello, my name is Denis Villeneuve, and I directed this movie.
Okay. I'll learn. I'll adapt.
Yeah.
Villa.
I'll adapt.
Yeah.
Easier to pronounce than Villeneuve. I thought it was like, I read this name like 10 times. I'm like, I love this guy. I'm going to learn how to pronounce his last name. Villeneuve. I'm American.
Villeneuve.
Yeah.
Villeneuve.
I think it means 9.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Hi, my name's Denny, and it's nice to meet you, Mr.
I'm a fan of
Villeneuve.
movies. You're my favorite
I'm a
director,
film
Villeneuve.
Mr. Villeneuve. Yeah. Is that like a home 9? What is that? I don't understand what that is. Oh,
It's
God.
a house on hole 9.
It's a house on home 9. You like golf? Do you like golf, dude?
It's
Bro.
a halfway point clubhouse thing. That's what you were named
Bro.
after?
So wait, Danny Villeneuve?
Denny.
Denis
Villeneuve.
Villa. Just Villa.
Villa. Yeah. You can put a little stank on it if you want, but,
Wow. Okay.
yeah.
Shit.
This movie was, in terms of Sunday movies where you're trying to like have a Sunday, it's a bad Sunday movie. I'm going to put that out there.
I was really hungover,
Yep.
and I watched this one.
As was I.
I
And it
got
was
drunk after that.
Well, I feel
Is
shit.
that different than usual? I don't know.
But I was watching it during the day. I don't know if you guys did. This is a
I watched it at night.
dark movie, and I couldn't see some of the scenes very well. Did you guys have any
No.
problem like that?
No. You need that Dolby Vision.
Yeah, you have that crappy.
I do. I got HDR.
Pseudo
that's not
4K
Dolby
TV
Vision.
that doesn't do the darks very well. So that's what I got. So
I'm with you
good.
too. We need to get the Dolby Vision, man. I'm telling you, that's the new shit.
But that won't help because I have the high contrast shit, and all that does is make the darks darker, which makes the dark scenes harder to see.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
The color spectrum's different on that, so you might
it's
see it.
wider. The blacks are black as opposed to like
Yeah.
a fuzzy gray.
Yeah, but it also
fuzzy-
it pops
I mean,
the
it
rest
looks
of it too.
better. Yeah, but
Yeah.
if it's black, it looks like the TV's off.
I mean, if you've got if you've got like the sun coming in, you're screwed.
I got the sun coming in.
Oh yeah, he's done.
I got a window
Yeah.
right in the back, so the
that's
reflection reflects off the shiny TV screen.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
they got
done.
this- yeah.
Kids
They got
done.
this new thing.
What?
It's called curtains, man.
Hey,
Called
hey,
curtains.
you
should look into
ever,
those.
Not a
you ever shut your
recluse, man.
blinds?
Yeah.
I want to get my tan on my couch while I play video games and watch movies all day.
All right. Whatever.
It's weird, Denny. You got a little sunburn on your left side of your face there.
Yeah. You get your curtains. I'll get my Bluetooth headphones.
Well, I can't move the television, idiot. Jesus. Punching the baby. Fucking hell. God damn it. Just like
Ugh.
adding more terribleness.
Punching the baby.
I've never seen that in a movie before.
Wait a minute. I'm confused. When was the baby
When was the
punched?
baby
Did I
punched?
blink-
When
did I
she
blink
was
and miss
pregnant in
that?
the prison and she was trying to punch the baby.
Punching the baby in the belly.
In the
Yes,
belly.
Yes.
Oh,
Punching the
right.
preborn babies.
Yes.
Babies. Not
Two
just
of 'em.
one.
Was she a good... So she's a fantastic actress. She plays like a 19-year-old all the way to being like, well, however old, like 60 or whatever she was towards the end, and does it really well. I don't like her character's kind of a bad person, would you say? Like, I mean, a victim of her situation, but
I was going to say more than that. I don't really see necessarily her as a bad person because she just, I don't know. I mean, what would you do if you saw your first love get shot in front of you and then your child is taken away and then he's taken away to an orphanage, which is later bombed while you're an activist trying to help out? I don't know. Jesus.
Well, all that would go under the victim of circumstance and situation, right?
Yeah. So I wouldn't necessarily, it's hard to like, after all that to be like, oh, she's a bad person.
But she is. Like she does all this shit. She murders. She does all this stuff. And then instead of letting her kids live their lives, she tells them all this stuff and also says something to the effect of like, let the violence end here or something, let all the hate end here. How is that going to happen? That's not going to happen. You can't just write that in a letter after you're dead and then have your kids be like, oh, wow, I can feel it lift off my shoulders.
Yeah, I know you know all this crazy, shitty stuff, but, breathe and get over it. That's it.
Tomorrow
you deliver the letter.
Yeah.
Hey, man, no big deal.
You know, I just don't know. I just don't know. She's a very odd character.
You don't buy it, huh?
I don't.
She's a very odd character, and I don't know.
I just don't know if this movie, and it doesn't need to, but is there supposed to be some kind of like moral or like message or anything?
Yeah, don't rape people, and then you won't, by mistake, rape your mother. I mean, like, Jesus, what could it possibly, what else could it, like, what story are we trying to get here?
I think the moral is contained in the letters, which I really didn't even want to. I could have gone back and tried to listen to it, but I didn't want to.
I listened to it twice, and I couldn't really get anything out of it.
I can't really interpret it. I do think it's more of the idea of just the tragedy of war and what these conflicts do to people and what they end up doing because of it, and just how senseless and awful it all is. I mean, I feel like that's more kind of the idea. And to some extent, it humanizes the people who do the violence a little bit. You know, I mean, it gives you a little bit of sympathy for them or a little bit of understanding, I think, in terms of like when you have all these things done to you, what you might do in turn. And so that's like, I didn't feel like she was a bad person for the things that she did. I mean, she just went through hell and she then also responded in kind. So in some ways you see her as brave or at least, you know, having guts to fight back somehow at some point. So I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it's different. It's the way it's portrayed. She does it her character is portrayed as very like stoic and just fighting back in a way where it's not like she's like, you know, being some bro about it or, you know, anything like that where she's taking any celebration in the thing that she's doing. Like even when she shoots the guy, you know, it's not like she's taking any satisfaction in it. She's like almost like numb, it seems, as she does it.
Yeah.
And so you don't, they're not glorifying it in any way either. It's not like, yeah, go get him. Yeah, you kill that leader or whatever. It's not at all done that way. And
they don't really do it. Like, I mean, they kind of make both. Do they make both sides seem pretty bad? They kind of do, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, actually. Because like the Christians are the only people who actually start instigation in any situation, right? I think.
Well, again, it doesn't matter because none of it's factual in terms of who did what, whichever religion it was.
It matters. It's a movie. The universe in the movie matters.
No, but I'm just saying though that they're just showing both sides. I think in this case, you're seeing the sides of the rebel Christian faction that's done bad things. But I imagine both sides were maybe doing bad things. I don't know. But you're just seeing the impact of one side, and you're seeing what the Christian faction did to the Muslims through her eyes, through her experiences. And who knows what else was going on throughout that period, or in this fictionalized world. And maybe in this fictionalized world, the Muslims were entirely innocent and they were just preyed upon by these Christian rebels. I don't know because there's not like real. So I don't know what the full backstory is because there is
information.
There isn't one, right? So who knows?
Yeah. So the movie totally lost me at the end, but it kind of lost me a little bit when it showed her at the pool, and her son was there. Just like the fact that she was at this pool across the world where her son was, who was also her torturer. Like,
how did that link up?
What are the odds of that?
Yeah. How do you think they linked up? What was the progression there?
I don't know. It seemed like such a stretch
It's like a needle in a haystack, right? Like out of all the things, like it's no way.
Out of all the people in the world, literally in the world.
And
like
how often do you guys go to the pool? I don't.
Like, how often do you stay at the pool? A couple hours. You're going to miss your friend if you go on the same day because you're going at different times.
Yeah.
Yep. Good point.
Knowing that they're going to be there, you're going to miss them.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So that
it's
was
just for the story, man.
I know. But like at that point, I was like, oh, they're going to explain that this is they're going to explain why this happened, right? Because this is insane how they see each other there. But they didn't. It was just like, oh, they're at the same pool. Cool.
It's the only pool you can swim at around here.
Yeah, apparently.
No, I need a beer. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Right.
Keep going. So, and I think one of the other things I had was I was kind of surprised that the rapist guy did not recognize his rape victim.
Well, she was a lot older, but it's a good point. I mean, he may have not even noticed her. You know, I mean,
looked at her really, I guess.
Yeah, but didn't she make eye contact with him and he just didn't register with him at all?
Wouldn't you think he would remember her?
Yeah.
Unless he just rapes willy-nilly.
Yeah. I mean, they do say he was like the best torturer. Does that mean he's like,
there might have been so many people that it just didn't register at all. Like, yeah. Which seems,
we need a rapist. We need a rapist to get the info from. Hey, guy, do you remember the ones you raped? All right, well, I guess you would remember. I mean,
do you like swimming pools? Movie checks out. He likes both.
So would you go to a swimming pool when your victim did? Yeah, okay. All right, well, fuck, man. Okay.
Yeah.
Movie checks out. But I guess really that doesn't matter because it's just the story in the movie.
Right.
On purpose.
Right.
We're all three of us are way too like, well, it doesn't make sense though in real life.
But it does. But so it matters to me. I mean, I was hooked narratively for, 90% of the movie. And then at the end, I was like, this is fucking fake.
Yeah.
This is fake. Like the entire full first part, I also didn't know it was not real places. I was like, this is the most realistic horror movie ever. It's terrifying, And then at the end, I was like, this is insane. This doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it kind of matters. Even if it's not all, fictional, it still needs to like drag you along. And I'm sure it does for a lot of people, but it didn't for me, which kind of was upsetting. Slightly.
Yeah.
Would still recommend it though, with like a little subtitle of like, if you're in the mood to feel bad after a movie.
Right.
Which sometimes I am.
If you want to take a drink after a movie.
It's a good one.
It's just well done. It's well crafted and it's well shot. There's a lot of really good. There's just a lot of the way it unfolds is really good up until the end, and so I think it's definitely worth watching. In some ways, the way it depicts violence of these kinds of wars is astonishing.
And let's get into the way that he shoots violence. There was a commentary. If you're a fan of him, I would say it's pretty good. It's not awesome, but it's cool listening to him. He hates violence. Denis Villeneuve hates violence a lot. It's like his least favorite thing in the world. And because of that, he feels it's necessary to shoot it in such a way where it does not glorify it in any way. So he tries to make it as ugly as possible because he hates it so much. And I think it works pretty good. Like, I don't know, consistently throughout his movies, the violence is blunt, scary, not glorified. That never seems fun. You never want to like go play laser tag after one of his movies.
Yeah, you got him. All right.
Yeah, you never want to paintball after one of his movies or something,
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of a good explanation to like, that's where he's coming from. Because I think it would probably also work if he's like, I love violence. I want to make it as scary as possible for people because I love being scared. But
there are some people that it's not necessarily that they glorify violence, but they're like, yeah, I mean, there's kind of a Quentin Tarantino sort of thing in terms of enjoying the action, enjoying the thrill of something like that.
And then you got the Michael Bay where it's like slow motion helicopter missiles with like patriotic music. It's fucking awesome.
This is a funny quote. What was the quote from Michael Bay? It's like, so what? I make movie for 13-year-old boys, so sue me.
Yeah, right? Like, are you making movies, bruh? I don't think so.
How much money are you making? Not as much as me. Shut up.
Yeah, so fair enough there, I guess. It's like, but that's kind of like this little macho sort of very masculine sense of violence and righteousness or vengeance or whatever, and I agree. It's striking. I mean, I think this film more than a lot of them, like you said, Denny, in terms of the way it depicts some of the violence, it's really haunting. I mean, I can still see that girl running from the bus.
And it was such a long shot too, right?
Yeah. That one is just that whole scene, the way they show it, it's still like really, I really see it in my head. It's still very, very striking. God.
And the way it she's on a bus, she's like finally off the street. She's in like out of harm's way. She takes a nap for the first time in forever.
Yeah.
Wakes up from the nap in living hell, pretty much. Like I love it how the camera like wakes up with her and then it like, what the hell's going on? There's yelling going on outside the bus. Who are these people? Bang, 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 bang. You're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Get down. Terrifying. That scene reminded me of Children of Men, a couple of scenes. Just like,
that's a good comparison. You're right.
There was a scene where he's like hiding behind the rock and a bunch of people like run out of a building and the army just like mows them down and they just fall and they're just like screaming really quickly and then everyone's dead. And you're like, oh my God. You know, just the way it's dealt with is freaking terrifying. And yeah. Just a nightmare fuel. It's like, this is how it would really look like. There you go, brain. Keep that in there for a while. No more of these Michael Bay deaths for you and your dreams. It's all going to be scary as shit, realistic deaths.
Oh, Denny's been traumatized.
Yeah.
I don't think I thought about it until today.
I know, dude. The nightmare thing really got me. I got up like the next day. It ruined my whole Monday because I was like nervous from the nightmares.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't typically have nightmares and they affect me pretty strongly when I do.
Right. I mean, makes sense. We'll give you that one.
Yeah. What else do I got? Commentary. It's based on a play. Denis Villeneuve saw it and he thought it was a masterpiece. So he's like, I need to make this. So then he did. Good for him. His family, this is the worst piece of trivia I'll ever have. Denis Villeneuve's family.
Really? I don't know, sir.
His entire family were notaries.
So he said pretty high there.
He said his whole family were notaries. So he said the only scenes he knew what he was doing was the scenes in the notary offices.
Hey, you don't even have to act because you do this every day. Just do what you do every day.
So you know when the baby was being born?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That baby was very unrealistic looking apparently on set, and everyone was like, "Dude, this is gonna look terrible." But they CG'd the entire thing over the fake baby, and I thought it looked pretty damn real. I don't know about you guys.
Oh, they CG'd over it, huh?
The entire thing was CG pretty much, like they painted over the doll that they had.
Wow.
Huh.
And it looked pretty good.
I didn't know. It looked fine. I mean, it certainly.
I didn't notice.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't notice either.
Yeah. Lots of digital erasing in this movie.
Oh, really?
Like all the landscape shots of the mothers, you know, any time the mother is somewhere, they're digitally erasing like power lines and radio towers.
I mean, that makes sense.
If you guys were to think, like, would you guess that this was a big budget movie or medium, small? What would you think?
Maybe small, medium.
I read the numbers, and so I think it seemed, so I can't say. I mean, I have ideas about it, but it was well produced. It didn't feel like
cheap or anything.
Cheap, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty low budget. I guess. I mean, it's $6.8 million, but you have like these pretty big set pieces, you know.
Yeah.
And it's not like, I mean, it was filmed in Canada mostly, and also they had, you know, international filming, which I can't imagine is cheap, right? You have to get like permits and shit. I have no idea. Yeah. But yeah, did a good job with the low budget. They had one bus to burn on the budget. So that was like the scene that he was like shitting his pants right before they were filming.
Oh,
I
like that. Yeah, because if you don't get it, you're fucked.
You're fucked. Because like that's the most important scene of the movie, right? I would think.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yep.
Yeah. And if they fucked it up, then
that's it.
Yep. The prison, John, was also based in a real prison. And Denis Villeneuve actually went to that prison before it was destroyed in 2006 to like check it out. And he kind of helped the set designers design the set for the prison, like the one for the movie, based on his recollection of the actual prison that it was based on.
Okay.
Which was like, you know, tiny prison cells, notorious for torturing people, all that type of shit. Guess who Denis Villeneuve's favorite director is? Guess.
Ridley Scott.
Nope. Easy, you got to guess?
Wait, I have one other guess.
No idea.
Go for it.
Kubrick.
No, he really likes Kubrick, but no.
Okay.
Ingmar Bergman is his favorite director.
Hate this movie.
Mr. Persona.
Done.
Mr. Persona.
Never watching another Villeneuve ever again.
And the last thing I'll say is the letters to the father and the son in the play are much longer, and he told me, you know, whoever was listening, to go read them because they're, quote, beautiful, and you should read them. So maybe they make more sense if you read the whole thing, but they said they were way too long for a movie, so they cut them down.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it.
All right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, do you guys have any more? I mean, I think we covered it pretty good. We actually went through the plot for the first time in a long time. We haven't done that in a very long time.
Yeah, this one seemed to merit it. Like,
it really did, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, we talk about that once in a while, whether or not we should do more plot overviews, either like before our discussion or maybe during or after. I don't know.
And you actually clarified one thing for me, John. I was the one point I was going to ask about was when I was like, how did she get the job tutoring? And also, who was that guy she was talking to in that hallway to tell her to, like, you know, to do stuff? And I was like, those two seem, you know, separate and confusing to me, but now they're together and they make sense. So, yeah.
You're welcome.
Very much. Thank you. I don't know. So what do you think? Are we going to keep the same question? Should this be in the top 250 or should it be number 150? Or what do you think? Should it be higher? Should it be lower? Should we keep the same question?
I don't mind the personal top 250 question. I like that.
Top 250.
I like that one. I like that question.
Do you like that? But do you like this on that list of yours?
I'd put it in there. I'd put it in the top 250. I'd put it in mine. Yeah.
Johnny?
I'm miserable. I like miserable.
Yeah. I mean, as a whole, it doesn't. There's things I can like what we criticized, but I still think there's enough powerful scenes in this movie that I am grateful to have watched it. I would recommend it to people, with just some caveats, but yeah, so I would put it in mine too.
Yeah, like maybe take your antidepressants before you watch it, or maybe have a chamomile tea after to calm down.
Yeah, make sure you're not going outside anytime soon.
Yeah.
Where there might be loud noises on the street because it might scare you.
Right. When you go to sleep at night, like meditate for a bit, maybe body scan, something nice, you know, maybe give yourself a flower so that you don't go into nightmares.
And I got to say, too, I mean, nightmares, very rare. And there are scenes like the little girl scene and a couple of other shooting scenes that I will never forget, probably.
Yeah, makes sense, dude.
Yeah. So, next week, we are watching an old one.
Okay. Not my favorite. Never liked that one.
Yasuhiro Ozu. Tokyo Story, 1953.
Oh, right.
Okay.
An old couple visit their children and grandchildren in the city, but the children have little time for them. That sounds enthralling.
Oh, God.
But this is a classic, though. This one's supposed to be really fucking good. So
okay.
We'll see.
Well,
we will see. I mean, all of these are supposed to be really fucking good. Anything old on this list is supposed to be really good, I would imagine.
Just old. And I hear that and I say no.
So, kicking this off with a downer and an old one. Oh,
holy my God.
Yes, thanks for listening. Go to our website, mission250filmcast.com. Go to our Facebook and Twitter and like and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. Give us 5 stars and give us a review. If you haven't done that yet, we'd appreciate it.
Yep. Wow, you sounded really radio right there.
Hey, sometimes I feel
welcome, Ed.
Really
give us a 5-star and a good review. All right. Thank you for listening.
I should enlist you to do the ending, TC.
Yeah, right. There we go. Yeah, we got Timmy Buckles and we got Fuckface over here from the radio station. 250 Filmcast. Exactly.
What'd you think of his movie, Tim?
Fuck you, John.
Yeah, fuck you too.
Timmy's doesn't have much to say these days. He just says, fuck you, John.
Timmy
try to get him to talk.
Timmy hates the list too much that he can't. He just stays at home.
Out of it.
Yeah.
Timmy's riding sidecar in TC's brain and he's making him watch all these movies. He's getting pissed off.
Timmy's just sitting there in the corner going, give me a drink. Give me a drink.
I watch this movie if you just give me a drink.
Just give me a drink. I could use a beer. Shit.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. All right. I will talk to you guys next week.
All right.
See you guys. Take care.
Later.